What would you do if someone offered you $1 billion? Would you take the money and turn your back on your people? Would you sign a deal that made you rich while your country remained poor? This is the story of a young African president who was offered $1 billion by the French government and he said no. Stay tuned, I will be right back. Welcome to Rooted in Africa News channel. Here we bring you legit news from every corner of African continent. If you're new here, please subscribe, like and share so you can stay informed and updated on what is going on in Africa. It started with a coded message delivered through unofficial diplomatic channels. The French ambassador in West Africa had a private message for Captain Ibrahim Traoré, leader of Burkina Faso. He was invited to a discreet meeting in a heavily guarded villa outside Ouagadougou. No press, no entourage. Just 3 men in suits claiming to represent the stability interest of the Francophone region. At the center of the table was a black briefcase, unopened. The man in the middle leaned forward. Captain Traoré, France values stability. We want peace and cooperation. You have proven yourself a strong man, a revolutionary tribe, but even revolutions need funding. The briefcase opened slowly. Inside was a secure hard drive and a white envelope. The hard drive contained encrypted access to $1 billion, divided into offshore accounts in Switzerland, digital wallets, and private equity shares in global mining firms. The envelope, a pre-drafted resource cooperation agreement giving France exclusive control over Burkina Faso's gold, lithium and uranium exports for 35 years. In return, Traoré was to allow French troops to return for counter-terrorism, reinstate the CFA franc and disband his alliance with Mali and Niger. The room was silent. Traoré didn't even touch the hard drive. He stood up, placed both hands on the table and stared into the eyes of the man who brought the offer. I did not pick up arms at 34 just to become another French governor in military uniform, he said. This land is not for sale. Not at 1 billion, not at 10 billion. I'd rather die broke but free than live rich as a slave. He walked out of the room, and with that, the $1 billion bribe was rejected. But Traoré wasn't done. That same night, Traoré summoned his cabinet, the military council, and leaders from local communities. He ordered the declassification of 47 secret contracts signed with French companies over the last 25 years. Contracts that gave French corporations 98% profit shares in Burkina Faso's gold exports. Contracts that paid Burkinabe workers less than $1 per hour to dig the very land their ancestors died protecting. He issued a presidential order. All foreign mining licenses are suspended. From now on, Africa's wealth will serve Africans first. Within 72 hours, armed guards secured Burkina Faso's gold mines. French contractors fled the country. The national flag was raised over every resource site. And for the first time in decades, Burkina Faso owned its land again. Paris was furious. The French Foreign Ministry accused Traoré of economic sabotage. They froze Burkinabe assets in Europe. French media launched smear campaigns, calling him a dictator and dangerous populist. Western banks began cutting off access to financial networks. Aid agencies suspended programs. Behind the scenes, NATO officials held emergency talks about stabilizing the Sahel. But Traoré stood firm, and something unexpected began to happen. From Mali to Guinea, from Niger to Chad, African youth rose up in support. In Bamako, students painted murals of Traoré with the words, "Not for sale." In Lagos, thousands marched to the French consulate shouting, "Africa is awake." In Accra, Ghana, Pan-African leaders held a virtual summit to discuss building a continental gold reserve free from IMF or World Bank control. Traoré had not just rejected a bribe. He had ignited a movement that said, Africa will no longer be bought. We are not the property of foreign empires. We are the children of Sankara, Lumumba, and Nkrumah, and we have come to finish what they started. In his next public address, Ibrahim Traoré stood before a crowd of 100,000 in Ouagadougou. The city square was filled with flags, drums, and the thunder of African pride. He raised his hand and spoke, Let history record this day. That when they brought me gold, I chose my people. When they offered me power, I chose freedom. And when they gave me fear, I gave them courage. Africa will rise, not by permission, but by purpose. And with that, the story of a $1 billion bribe became something greater. It became a symbol, a reminder that Africa is not for sale.